Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Meadowlands Speedway for the 11th race in the 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series as we get ready for 50 laps of action in my co-commentator's home state, my man Vince Freeze with me again.
In the Garden State, happy to be up here, back up north. Took the flight up here. Interesting front row. A lot of strategy in this race in terms of when to use the tires and when not to. And of course, Zach, a lot of past winners at the front of the Meadowlands race. Should be an interesting field.
Yes, indeed. This is our speedway race after a short track race, and then we go back to short track racing for the next 3 weeks. Richmond, Martinsville, Bristol, the paved variant, and then Springfield Dirt as we'll hit our 150th race in series history at Springfield in just 4 weeks' time. So a bit of a milestone there for the series. But we're here at a track that we've come to 3 times. 2017 to 2019, didn't come here last year. Past winners include Allyson Rayne, who's starting 4th. She won here in 2017. And your pole sitter, Jonathan Zoerlein, who won here in 2018. So we go through the starting grid. Zoerlein on pole after winning at Dodge Motordrome last week. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. starting to his outside. Keith Rich with a surprising Q run starting 3rd. Nico Tringali and Nate Rogers in row 3. Row 4 is Samet Oskin and Cole Deaver, who's the most recent winner at this track. In fact, Deaver won this race from the pole in 2019, and it's the site of his last career Digital Storm Cup Series win. Rounding out the top 10 is Colt Hudson and William Brock, another pair of surprising drivers who qualified up front here today. Interesting statistic, William Brock is 16th in the points without a single top 10. He's the highest driver in the point standings without such a stat. I'll go through the rest of the starting grid as Vince gets you to your go or go home did not qualify drivers and the pit window.
Yep, our first one is Stephen Clun, our 500 pole sitter earlier in the year. Priya McShane, Sam Dyer, Diego Yepes, Logan Williams, Edwin Justice, Daniel Bouchard, and Laura Chung. Our Daytona winner in the Truck Series did not make it. Our guesstimated pit window, Zach, because we know we always have pit road annex around here. 24 and 26 laps. With the cloudier conditions, we'll see if we get a lap or two of more of an undercut or an overcut. And of course, around here, as we saw a little bit in practice, we'll see what the lines do. I feel like the middle could be big, but the inside should prevail early on.
All right, guys, let's do this. Drivers, start your engines.
10 races down, 15 races to go until the playoffs. If you look at the real wild card races left, I'd say definitely Martinsville and Bristol paved are going to be wild cards as much as the Dodge Motordrome was. Springfield should be a very fun race. Talladega, of course. We're no longer going to the Pensacola road course. We're going to Watkins Glen instead, so that should be an interesting day. Milano is Milano is similar to Pensacola in the way that it's high speed, road course, super speedway type track. So that should be an interesting race. And then, of course, we've got the Pukekohe doubleheader. It's Pukekohe. We've been saying it wrong. Once again, I've been corrected. Definitely have the right pronunciation now, as I went straight to someone who is from the area to get the correct pronunciation. And then we ended in Canada, Pig Stadium and Pigs Creek. But Zoerlein, our most recent winner, 6 different winners through 10 races. Let's see if we get the 7-11 mark or if it's going to be the 6-11 mark. 50 laps of action, cloudy conditions, tire fall off upwards of 4 seconds. Green flag is out and we're underway. What a
Great
good
start by
jump.
Zoerlein.
Yeah, amazing jump for Jonathan Zoerlein. So as we mentioned last week, Zoerlein continued his streak of winning in every season a Digital Storm Cup Series competition. The only other driver who has yet to do that or try to back that up this year is Seth Cole, who has also won at least 1 race in 4 years of competition. Seth started, I believe, just inside the top 20. So you want to know how fast these cars are going? Well, look no further than the top of your screen. Jonathan Zoerlein upwards of 207 miles an hour into turn 1. As I finally figured out the line to fix in the track INI to actually show us what the average mile per hour is now on the ticker. In years past, we were stuck with 0.099, but I figured out what line it was and I got that fixed. So now we actually know what the average speed around here is.
Yeah, Zach, and right now, early on, you can see the cars are stringing out. Fitzwater, though, he's staying in that wake with his teammate Rayne behind. I wonder what they can do. This reminds me a little bit of Denver early on.
Yeah, I mean, they're accelerating. It's not the same chassis as Denver, but they are accelerating so fast down the straightaways. I think it's really going to come down to what you do with your tires, as right now it looks like Fitzwater's got something for Jonathan Zoerlein.
He went back-to-back earlier in the season, his last win being Texas.
How about Keith Rich in 4th place right now? Started in 3rd. Managed to keep the car there on the inside line. Allyson Rayne as well started in 4th, and she's going to make the move on Fitzwater here for 2nd. And that such a move like that could be a photo finish at the end of the race. You never know. This is pretty much a bottom line track. So Rayne will take 2nd place away. Nico Tringali 5th, Oskin 6th, Nate Rogers 7th. Colt Hudson, a bit of a shocker, in 8th. Jessica Shelton, 9th. And Cole Deaver rounds out the top 10 as there's Dylan Young, who pretty much had the Motordrome race on lock. And then disaster struck for others coming out of pit road, and Dylan Young had to slam the brakes, and his undercut went out the window. So he is currently just outside the top 10. Him and Charles Sanford racing for 11th place. The last speedway we went to, Vince, was 2 races ago at Pocono, and we watched Dylan Young drive from 33rd place starting position, I believe it was, to a top 5.
Yeah, that was the hard charge of the day. See if Dylan Young right now, he seems like he's falling back a little bit. Reminds me of Denver, too. He started on pole and he's falling back just a bit.
He'll lose a spot to Charles Sanford and Quinton Moore. Seth Cole going to look for 13th. How about James Ellison running in 15th place right now? Ellison is just outside the top 30 battle. 33rd in the points coming in through 7 races. 7 starts out of 10 races on the season. He's currently under fire from Alexander Rowe. So there's William Brock in 17th. Bit of a gap from him to Foster Henderson in 18th. And you've got RJ Bishop and Peter Onjak inside the top 20. As up at the front, I believe Allyson Rayne is about to make a move on the lead, looking for what would be her 4th win. She hasn't won since the 4th race of the season when she won 3 in a row.
Yeah, Allyson Rayne just biding her time right here behind Zoerlein, seeing what Zoerlein's weaknesses and strengths are. You see the tire fall off. Not much right now, but wait till we get to lap 15. She washes up tight a little bit.
Yeah, we're already up to, I think, about half a second of fall off through 6 laps of racing. Yes, indeed.
It's coming now. Like I said, Zach, with this guesstimated fuel window, I think the tire window could be good for an undercut today. That's
well, I think it's definitely a one-stop, but I think if you pit on 23 coming to 24, you're pushing your luck. That is my opinion right now. So let's go back to the back, or just outside the top 10. Quinton Moore all over the bumper of Cole Deaver for 10th place. As Dylan Young has fallen to 15th. But there you see the gap from 17th to 18th. Put Onjak up to 18th. Jesse Turner up to 19th. And Zach Flickinger inside the top 20. As Sam Young started, I think, in last place, and he's up to 24th.
That's an impressive showing for the rookie right there.
I'm pretty sure he started down in last place. I think I saw him on that last row. Yeah, 23rd place now, actually passing Amanda Evans. Cara Bell started back there too, and she's up to 25th. Alex Ferranti started outside the top 30. Andrew Rich not having a good day. We would have expected better from him on this type of track, but he's trying to make his way forward. And there's Kukulon. We know how Kukulon does it. You know, he's 19th in the standings without a top 10. Average starting position of 29th, average finishing position of 21st. He started the race today in 32nd. Move him on up to 28th place, passing Lane Sanders. 20 of Trace Smith, making his first race in a while. He has fallen to 49th in the standings. This is only his 4th race on the year. Ace Rogers not doing so hot right now. There's Christian Vargas, who almost got his first career Jerky Pro truck win last night. Vargas is making his 5th start on the season. There's Osmain Hamid, who continues to hang around 23rd in the point standings. Kev Shearer has been on a bit of a hot streak qualifying-wise lately, but that did not happen today. He's way back here. He comes in 24th in the points. He's just been moving his way up. We'll see if he can continue to get that done. Right now, struggling here at Meadowlands. It's Landon Smith Jr., Levi McIntyre at the back of the field, as Adam Flickinger has fallen a lap down. And it looks like he came to pit road for some reason. So not sure what that was about. Meanwhile, at the front, it's a top 3 breakaway event. Zoerlein, Rayne, and Fitzwater are about 3 seconds ahead of 4th place Keith Rich, as Samet Oskin has found himself up to 5th. As no other positions inside the top 10 have changed. Oh, no, wait. Seth Cole up to 10th place, passing Cole Deaver.
One of those cases, Zach, where the midfield seems to be spicy, as you see Jessica Schell making a move on Cole Hudson.
That's for 8th place. Falloff has already reached about 2 seconds, as the fast lap goes to Allyson Rayne, a 43.311. And Seth Cole will look to help friend and competitor Jessica Shelton buy the Dodge of Colt Hudson. Bit of a Chevy team up right here. Deaver, Quinton Moore on back. See Jesse Turner and others closing in on William Brock. That's Turner, Sack Flickinger, Peter Onjak, and RJ Bishop. And then a gap back to Foster Henderson. Is look at this, Andrew Rich. He's on the move, Vince. He just got by Sam Young for 23rd. Now he'll be looking, or no, he got by him for 24th. Amanda Evans went by as well. Now he's looking for 23rd place. So Andrew Rich on the move. Sebastian Kukulon trying to follow in his footsteps. Or I guess in this case, the tire track. How about James Ellison in 13th place today? Hudson falls to 12th. Now Shelton falls down to 11th. Put Quinton Moore inside the top 10. As now there's a gap from 8th place Seth Cole to Nico Tringali in 7th. Let's see what the difference in lap time is here between them. Seth Cole is going to run a 45.837 to Tringali's 46.291. Nate Rogers also slower, as is Oskin and Keith Rich. So Seth Cole, the fastest driver behind 4th. Fitzwater, a 45.7, but the top 2 continue to just drive away. And Vince, this is beginning to look a lot like Las Vegas, where, I mean, it was just Allyson Rayne who won by 10 seconds. But we've got like a 3-car breakaway, maybe more similar to Auto Club, perhaps.
Yeah, well, Auto Club action. Zach, I just can't help but wonder, is this a championship preview, or at least a playoff preview? We'll see these two battling now, Sam Fitzwater in the playoffs, right? I just think the way the top and the cream has risen to the top so far in 10 races, these next 10 races for these teams that have won already, it's all about dialing in. Unless you're Osman Hamid, that man's got to fight to stay at top 25.
Well, and to your point there, Vince, that would actually be a repeat of the 2019 Final Four, where Jonathan Zoerlein had undercut Allyson Rayne by about 2 to 3 laps at Texas Motor Speedway, and somehow he managed to hold her off for about 10 laps, but it just wasn't enough, and Rayne went on to pass him, go on to win the title, finishing 2nd place in that race to John Arndt. So these two have fought on track a lot for wins and for a championship. So
one thing I'm noticing is Allyson Rayne's pushing high in 3 and 4, a little bit tight, but gets it on 1 and 2. Interesting.
Let's see, 46 once. Now, we were running about 155 miles an hour through turn 1 and 2 at the beginning of the run. That's down to about 137 miles an hour. But you just see they've got so much horsepower here in these conditions. Look at how early he has to hit the brakes to make turn 3.
Off throttle time is one of those keys to managing the tires and understanding how to slip the throttle sometimes. If you can have that throttle control, especially in the 3 and 4, as you can see, Allyson Rayne pushed up tight a little bit. So Zoerlein there, that'll be the key to who makes it happen on the second run.
Zoerlein starting to pull away a little bit, but look, only getting up to about 197 going into turn 1 now with how early he has to lift the gas. As it looks like Ace Rogers has jumped to pit road.
Interesting.
Samet Oskin has made it up to 4th place. Nate Rogers up to 5th. As Keith Rich has fallen to 6th. Seth Cole continuing to close in the gap from 8th place. As Alexander Rowe will find himself up to 11th. Ellison looking for 12th. As Colt Hudson continues to fall backwards. As Andrew Rich finds himself now 22nd place, all on his own. So he has cleared the pack that he was with, Vince. And he is closing the gap. He's running lap times about half a second faster than the drivers in front of him. Let's see the difference. Last lap, it was half a second from Bishop to Andrew Rich. Let's see if that gap is the same there. 350 to a 46.787. So 46.787 by Andrew Rich. The next driver even close to that is Seth Cole in 8th place. And then the top 2 of Zoerlein and Rayne.
He's nowhere to be found now. He's lost the pace. I think it's just these two, Zach, till we get the pit stops. You see Rayne just wash a little bit, slightly tight off the exit of 4 there.
Osman Hamid has fallen to 40th place. Still not sure if this could be the race. He finally falls outside the top 25. He's racing Kev Shearer, Sam Young, Lane Sanders, Peter Onjak as the closest drivers. We know Onjak is currently top 20, as is Sam Young is close to top 20.
25th.
Lane Sanders isn't doing too hot. How about Scott Roush? We failed to mention Roush is making his 3rd race of the season today, and he's currently running 32nd as he gets by Logan York. Ferranti fell down the running order. Foster Henderson has fallen down to 30th. There's Adam Flickinger. We know he pit around lap 6 for some reason. Sam Young has now actually fallen down the running order. Or is about to fall down the running order. He had made it up to 23rd. Now he's looking like he's fading. As Kev Shearer has made it to the top 30. Kukulon's still inching his way forward. As Kukulon has gained now 7 positions from where he started. So remember, the number on the stat sheet is a 9-position difference. But looks like Kev Shearer's got a better bite on entry because he made the move to the inside there in turn 1 and just drove in that little extra bit. So it looks like Kev Shearer's on the move. Andrew Rich now up to 21st place. It looks like him and Seth Cole are the fast movers as Seth Cole is now up to 6th.
He definitely got top 4, yeah.
There's Ace Rogers. He pit about 4 laps ago or so, so he's on a tire difference, but he's a lap down. There you see he moves to the top side to get by Jesse Turner. So he is just straight up flying right now. Let's look at the speed difference. Alexander Rowe finds himself up to 10th. Quentin Moore's going to make it by Keith Rich for 8th. Looking for 7th on Nate Rogers. As Seth Cole flies up to 5th place. But Samet Oskin is 7.5 seconds plus on back. As Allyson Rayne has made the move on lap 20. Taking the race lead away from Jonathan Zoerlein.
So Rayne, probably with the power move into 1 and 2. I would be shocked if it was 3 and 4 because she seems to be washing tight up there. Now we'll see what that does to the Fitzwater gap. No, he's still losing time. It's just these two, Zach, and lead their own.
And even Seth Cole is losing time to them. He's gaining time on everyone else. And actually, no, Seth Cole is stabilized now too as well, but he's made it up to 5th.
4.5 second fall off coming. You're right. If not more.
So now the waiting game is who pits when. We've noticed in the past that in cloudy conditions, Oh, they're going to pit now on lap 21 because we have
That's-
noticed in the past in cloudy conditions that if you're in clean air a lot, you tend to burn a lot of fuel. Seth Cole will stay on the track. Andrew Rich stays out. Zach Flickinger pits. Now, that could be why Adam Flickinger and Ace Rogers came down earlier. If it is indeed a two-stop race, that might have been a little bit of strategy on their part.
Problem with those guys is, well, we'll get back to it. It's a good call, but I don't know how much time they lost in the process. Maybe Ace Rogers has a better shot. We'll see. Look at this. Whoa.
Oh, that was really close. He had to really woe it down there. Let's see if Seth is going to pit here or not. Survey says yes and no. He's just going to go low. Could this be a 1 to 2 stop split, Vince? I mean, it is 4 seconds of fall off, so there's something to gain. Ooh, this looks... Amanda Evans will pit. This is looking interesting right now.
If they don't pit this next time by, Allyson, Rayne's gone, dude. Where is Zoerlein?
Zoerlein lost a ton of time on pit road.
I don't know, Zach. This is going to be interesting. It's one of those pit deltas. It's like a road course. You run this place backwards, it seems like, with the strategy. Ace Rogers will be your leader, though, I think. The cycle's out.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how much time he gained. Oh, wow. They are still staying out. Ferranti has been to pit road. This is where things can get sketchy, though, because you've got cars on fresh tires. Oh, Christian Vargas and Peter Onjak about wrecked it. That was wild.
Rayne's coming. Hamid is a moving slow ball.
They all are right now. Steve Ferranti just blew by Seth Cole.
They're losing so much time, Zach. I think they might have to try a one-stop at this point.
I think at this point, I think they're committed to the one stop. It's 5 seconds of fall off.
I mean, 5 times 5 is 25.
Here he comes. 24. That's going to be close. Oh, Nate Rogers is going to go another lap.
Rogers can make it, but, I mean, he's losing so much time now.
Pretty much everyone else just came down pit road. Sebastian Kugelon just stayed out.
One is known for these strategy calls. I'm not surprised.
This is where things get sketchy because you've got cars really slow coming to pit road.
I mean, it beats the last one other than the two that stayed out.
So Nate Rogers is looking primed to make it on one stop. I hope they don't do what they did at Auto Club where we had drivers who were good to go on one stop end up coming down pit road. I really hope they don't. The crew chiefs don't pull that again.
Yeah, be careful here. There he goes. Where's Kugelon? Kugelon's too far back, Zach. 11 seconds. That's I don't know about that call for him.
So the 8 and the 9 stay out. There's Allyson Rayne. I believe that was it. I don't think anyone else stayed out. So Ace Rogers has already been back down pit road. So he pit actually a lot sooner than he could have. So I think he's going to go to the end now. But I don't know why he would have only gone 12 laps, 12 laps. That's a bit odd. So here's Seth Cole. I want to know how far back the 72 machine is. I believe he might still be top 10.
He will be, I think, but he's a long way back, Zach.
So he is 21 seconds behind.
All right, so if he stays at the rest of this race, let's say these guys, the leaders, come around 42 as they get lap traffic here. I mean, it's going to be close. I don't know. I think you have to stay committed to a one-stop now if you're those guys. But
well, and Vince, just think about this right now. We're talking about lap traffic right here, but I think these drivers just came out of pit road, and they've got fresh tires to Rayne, and I mean, experience brings you only so far when tire fall off is 5 seconds.
Sometimes 6. I mean, we were pushing 6 with Kugelon there. It was getting bad.
I mean, this has turned into a bit of a Texas race now where we had, we thought we were going to have some drivers make it on 2 stops and others have to pit a 3rd time, but then we got a caution.
It's like bringing Fitzwater back. Don't look now, but he's only about a second back of Zoerlein.
Zoerlein's only a half second behind, so that's the top 3. So Hamid's day is still looking pretty poor. So Ace Rogers already pit again, but I have not seen Adam Flickinger dip back down the pit road, and the 78 machine is currently in, I don't know where he is, 36th place.
Yeah.
36th place. So Samet Oskin 4th, Quinton Moore 5th, Tringali 6th, Deaver 7th, Zach Flickinger 8th. Alex Ferrati finds himself in 9th. And Seth Cole is 10th.
He's flying.
Alexander Rowe, Dylan Young, Amanda Evans, Charles Sanford, Ellison, Logan York. Looks like he undercut. Turner, Andrew Rich. There's Nate Rogers, 31 seconds behind. So he's 10 seconds behind Seth Cole. I'm not sure he can make that up. I think if anyone does this on a 1-stop, it's the 72. But they are in the window. And Zoerlein has taken the lead away from Allyson Rayne. And now it looks like Fitzwater got held up by Adam Flickinger, who's on really old tires.
Something happened with Carabelle, Zach.
Not sure what you mean. Oh, yeah, what the heck? No front end on the 84. Potential pit road incident to look at later. I mean, she is running in 38th place, so it's not like she lost a lap or 2 from this. And we do have cautions on.
Like pit road.
Yeah, I think it was a pit entry thing.
Man.
So Fitzwater got held up by Adam Flickinger, who's on really old tires. Cost him 3 seconds. It had let him catch up to Rayne and Zoerlein, and now it's all gone again. But these drivers are in the window, Vincent. I think if I were Zoerlein or Rayne, I'd want to pit now. Seth Cole is gaining about a second or so a lap, depending who he's behind. See, now Fitzwater can't close anything. See what the gap goes down to, 18.432. Oh, where did Seth Cole go? He just dropped out of the top 10.
He might got held up, Zach.
Oh, he's down pit road.
Oh, no, don't tell me. They're making these wild calls. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a 4-tire pit stop. He had just come to pit road, 5 laps to go, so I'm not sure what the decision here is, what the thinking process is. They gave up anything they could have gained just now, so I'm not sure if maybe they had something going down or if they didn't get fuel in it, but that is awful to see for Seth Cole's team. We're not seeing Kukulon do it. Where is the 8?
Or the 9 for that matter.
Kukulon is still fine. But, man, Seth Cole probably had the best shot at winning on a 1-stop.
Rowe, was he at 1-stop?
It's gone now. No, I mean, everyone who pit on lap 24 has a good shot at this. But the main person I was looking at was Seth Cole. Oh, where is Nate Rogers? Nate Rogers was the guy we thought was going to pit on a 1-stop. Yeah, he is in 17th. He is 27 seconds back. He's closing. But I'm not sure. Zoerlein now has a 1.2 second lead over Allyson Rayne.
Flickinger is holding up everybody, man.
I think, Vince, if the 9 of Nate Rogers and the 8 of Kukulon, if they can truly make it, the later the 5 and the 51 pit, the better for them. because they'll be gaining on him the whole run. So if Zoerlein decides for whatever reason he wants to push this second run 25 laps, that would be incredibly beneficial.
Zach, Rayne just pitted. That's a beautiful move. That's the move. We just talked about it.
If we can find the 51, there she is.
Great move. I mean, you're going to get the tires now. The window's open. You knew lap traffic was coming. I think that's the move. That's going to hurt Rogers now. Same with Kugelon. That might hurt him.
Well, now the 51's going to be the fastest car on track, and tires are great, but if you're stuck behind slow traffic like Fitzwater was, Fitzwater lost 3 seconds because he got stuck behind Adam Flickinger. There's Zoerlein, though, right there. Adam Flickinger has come down for his final stop of the day. We're going to keep the screen up because this little box down here is going to let us know when drivers come to pit road if we can't see it on the racetrack.
And this is fun. You see Flickinger's way quicker than Zoerlein.
And this is where you lose time here, is Adam's got fresher tires, but he's not making a move to pass him, so what's the point of having fresh tires if you don't make the move? And Zoerlein's going to keep staying out. This is hurting Zoerlein tremendously. If it comes down to him and Rayne, Rayne has got a huge advantage right now.
What is he doing? You got to come in now. Rayne's
wow.
fine, dude.
Keith Rich has damage from something. I wonder if that had anything to do with Carabelle.
Did Swara come in?
Oh, and look at this. There's Kugelon. So Kugelon is stuck. He hasn't been able to do anything with his tires. So I think game over for him. I mean, even if he can make it, though on the one stop, he'll get something out of this. But Rayne is going to pass him. So where's the 9?
9's up ahead a little bit. A lot ahead, actually. There he is.
Nate has made it up to 13th. Let's see. He is 24.8 behind Zoerlein at the line. Rayne was 39, so he's got 15 seconds on Rayne. He ran a 45.9. Rayne ran a 44.3. I think Rayne's got enough time to catch Nate. If Nate goes to the one stop and stays out all the way, I think Rayne has time to catch him, but she just can't afford to get held up by these other cars too much. If she does, she won't get there.
I think Rayne's got Zoerlein covered, though, because he's taking a really long approach here.
Zoerlein has not pit. How about Andrew Rich up to 12th place? I think he was one of the guys on the same strategy as Seth Cole. I guess Seth Cole's crew chief just thought they weren't going to make it to lap 50, Vince. I mean, they did pit on 24, and they must have stretched it as it was. That's just a tough break for them. Where is the 72 now anyway? He is back up to 40th. He is working towards unlapping himself, but he's going to have to hope a lot of other people pit for him to get anything back. We were just looking at Charles Sanford, who's 10th. How about Zach Flickinger inside the top 10 today? He comes into this race with 2 top 10s on the season. He'll fall to 10th. Him and Sanford and Dylan Young flying on by. Rowe up to 7th. So these are all our undercut drivers right here. I think you're right, Vince. I think Alexander Rowe is the highest driver on the Seth Cole strat.
The thing is with Rowe is I don't know if he can make it all the way. I don't know.
Well, I feel like this is the thing too, Vince, is the whole first run, everyone was in draft, so they were able to save the most fuel they could. But now that they're not really all in draft and they're spread out, it's harder to save that fuel you saved on the first run.
Where is Rayne? Let's see how Rayne's doing to Rogers. Where's that Rayne Rogers closing rate? Let's see what we got.
All right, so let's see. 22.5 seconds behind.
Okay.
Rayne is still... Rayne just jumped into 20th, so the gap now is 11 seconds.
I don't know, man.
It's close. It's about a second a lap, but if Rayne gets in clear, if Rayne doesn't have anyone in the way, it looks like she can just fly.
Yeah, right here. On the straights. That's the key, the straights.
But if we forget about Nate Rogers and we look at Alexander Rowe, that's another 6 seconds. So if Rowe can make it to the end...
Then it's game on.
Oh, and Rayne just got checked up by Amanda Evans, who's going to come to pit road.
This might be the second cycle. Here we go.
So Zoerlein stayed out. Zoerlein, Fitzwater, Quinton Moore, they've all stayed out. Ferranti, Oskin, Sackflickinger, Deaver, Nico Tringali, Pitt. Here comes Zoerlein. So there goes Seth Cole. There goes Fitzwater. There goes Quinton Moore. So now that puts Alexander Rowe in the lead. But does he keep going? He's going to keep going for now. So that'll put Alexander Rowe into the lead. Sanford second. Dylan Young third. Nate Rogers fourth.
Rich fifth.
Andrew Rich fifth. Jesse Turner sixth. Ellison seventh. Onjack eighth. Allyson Rayne up to ninth, passing RJ Bishop.
Rayne will be the leader, though. I think when it cycles through.
If they all pit.
Where is Zoerlein? Let's see how good that pit stop
The gap from Rowe to Rayne is 12 seconds. Oh, that's gonna hold. That's gonna hold Rayne up a bit. They're getting stuck behind Onjack on corner exit. There's Amanda Evans. I really think if this 14 team can make it to the end, Vince, I think they've got it in the bag. Charles Sanford, actually, wait. Charles is closing about 2/10 a lap there. James Ellison's going to have to pit. He can't make it. Rayne will get by Onjack. That'll put Rayne up to 7th place.
How far back? Let's see.
Only a second. Only a second. So with 9 to go, if you can only gain a second on Rowe a lap, I don't think you're going to get it done. And Charles Sanford just closed in 8/10 on Alexander Rowe that lap.
Maybe that's the battle. Maybe Rayne's only 9 seconds back if Sanford's the... Oh, this is going to get close, man. I don't know. Can he make it? I don't know if they're going to make it, though. This is a long stretch.
Dylan Young's going to pit from 3rd. You got a lot of Jesse Turner's pitting. Oh! Rayne pits again! Oh, no!
Well, by Zoerlein, I don't think Zoerlein's going to have enough time, man.
Allyson Rayne had to pit again. That's unbelievable. Fueling issues here today at Meadowlands from the looks of things. That's insane.
Where's Zoerlein at? He's too far back.
Unbelievable that Rayne had to pit again, just like Seth Cole, and she's only been out there for 10 laps, Vince.
Yeah, that's a miscue there on the fuel numbers, or there's something wrong with the actual pit stop. And Evans.
Well, it's the Rowe and Sanford battle now. Nate Rogers is up to 3rd.
Ugalon's in 7th.
There's Zoerlein. There's Zoerlein.
He can't make the gap.
He's up to 5th. No, how about Kev Shearer? Kev Shearer has stayed out this long. And as you mentioned, there's Kukulon. He's not getting a top 10, though. These guys are flying. Someone's on pit road there. That's Trey Smith.
I'll look at that later. Can Zoerlein make up 17 seconds? Oh, watch out. Sanford's coming, but I don't...
Alexander Rowe's pitting. Charles Sanford's pitting.
Zoerlein's got it now.
Nate Rogers is pitting. No one could make it. Andrew Rich has stayed out.
Yeah, but he's going to get caught. I don't see it.
What a wacky race, though. The strategy, just when you think they can all make it on like 2 stops or 1 stop, and then they're pitting extra times.
That's been the season's theme, though. Weird strategy. And you see
it's just not strategy that makes sense. So I don't know if these cars have been having fueling issues this year or what, Vince, because we have never had problems like this with the strategies in the past.
Like, we understood Daytona because there was a different 3-4X package for both series, but this is a little out of caliber for sure. I think Rich is coming in.
Nope, he is going to stay out, but the gap is only 8.7 seconds. There's the 5. He is flying. He's going to get there in no time at all. I'm going to guess that Trey Smith had problems getting into his pit stall. And that is why they are taking a while. Where is Seth Cole? I haven't seen Seth Cole back inside the top 10 at all. He's back up to 11th.
I mean, Andrew Rich has made his bed, Zach. It's either you stay out now and hope for a top 10 or you pit now. You're falling down. You got to stay out. You got no choice.
Coming to 4 laps to go.
Rod.
There's Zoerlein. Yeah, it's looking like Zoerlein's W, though.
There he goes. Gonna get held up in the corner, but Zoerlein has another 6.5 seconds back to Fitz.
Yeah, Fitzwater. Fitzwater's the closest one up now in 3rd.
Can't get around him. Oh, watch out.
There it goes. To the lead will go Zoerlein. So now it's just a matter of did Andrew Rich pit or not. Yeah, did they get the fuel right? I don't even know, man.
Rich is just going to have to play it like this, play it straight up. He's going to get passed for second by Fitzwater. Fitzwater's too fast. But
Charles Sanford has come back down the pit road.
That's a points implication. What in the world? Where's Rayne now? That's a points battle right there.
Logan York just came down to the pits.
No one's safe. Nobody is safe.
It really looks that way. Rayne has made it back up to 14th, racing with Alexander Rowe. There's Kukulon. Kukulon is still yet to pit.
And Cream's going to try to stretch it all the way. He's going to get past here, but it's like, wow.
Kev Shearer just fell out of the top 10. Ferranti's inside the top 10. And this strategy did not work out for either of these two. They pit really early in it, and they still couldn't make it on 2 stops.
Fitzwater's there for second.
More than that.
He's by.
Andrew Rich will fall to 5th. Oskin up to 4th. Quinton Moore up to 3rd. What a day for Quinton Moore. This will be Quinton's first top 5 on the season if he can make it to the finish.
How about J-Zone, man? Back to back. He can pull it off here on the last lap.
We'll be coming to the white flag in a strange strategy race once again. I think the last time we saw weird strategy was at Miller Motorsports Park. And this track has not been a track where we would see strange strategy calls like this. So completely unexpected. And I mean, it's just been that kind of year, Vince. 2021 has just been completely unexpected.
And as Roland goes to 3 and 4, there's a literally book called Weird New Jersey. I think we've seen Weird New Jersey today. But coming into the final quarter here, Jonathan Zoerlein, man, take it home.
Off of turn 4, Jonathan Zoerlein will be the 3rd different driver to go back-to-back. He gets career win number 10 in his 2nd win at this racetrack. Jonathan Zoerlein gets it done. And he becomes the 4th different driver to win multiple races in 2021. Fitzwater will take it home in 2nd. Quinton Moore 3rd. Oskin 4th. Tringali 5th. Andrew Rich makes it to the end. He'll get 6th place. Zach Flickinger 7th. Cole Deaver 8th. Alex Ferranti with a great day in 9th. He needed that. He came in outside the top 30. That's his first top 10 on the season. And Dylan Young will round out the top 10. Allyson Rayne gets it back up to 11th. Seth Cole 12th. James Ellison 13th. He had a good run there. That could help him out, get out of the top, bottom 20 in the standings. Rowe 14th. Jesse Turner 16th. Nate Rogers 19th. Kev Shearer 18th. Kukulon still finished 21st, so that is still 11 positions better than where he qualified, Vince.
And he's definitely the hard charger of the year, it seems like. What a costly mistake for Charles Sanford, Zach. That's got to hurt.
39th place for Charles Sanford will take him out of the points lead. I believe it'll be an 8-point lead now for Allyson Rayne. Not that the points lead really matters because you don't get bonus points for it anymore going into the playoffs. It's really all about winning in the playoffs once you get there. So, but definitely a crazy race. And I think the only thing we really want to try and see if there's anything for is what caused Carabelle to get rid of the hood. So we're gonna go see if we can figure out what happened there. Riding on board Carabelle, this is what happened to her on the first round, the pit stops. It's just Sam Young's pit stall happened to be there, and she had nowhere to go. That's going to end it for us here today. Jonathan Zoerlein, 4th two-time, or multi-race winner, I should say, on the season, and the 3rd driver to go back-to-back. We'll see you guys at Richmond next week for some more short track action.